Hello, everyone, and welcome to BrainScratch Comms. This time I have not two, but three special guests with me today.
I'm special?
John gets it.
Yeah, I get it. Holy shit. That's like, I did, like, de-age, like, 10 years just hearing that. Holy fuck. Because you did originally introduce us as special guests. Like, what are we fucking talking about? We're co-commentators.
Yes. that was our first failed recording.
Yeah, holy fuck. Yeah, this was one of our first commentaries that we did. And,
it was our first commentary, back when we uploaded the raw footage to the main channel.
Yeah, so for a moment of respect for the raw channel. It did us well until we no longer needed it anymore.
Yep.
Rip to those 64 parts of Trauma Center that are still up there, probably.
Let's take a look at how technology has progressed since 2009. I mean, iPhones are still a thing.
You have
we
a proper
don't rate 5 stars anymore. Yeah, I'm not using a Rock Band mic anymore.
I'm not using Dazzle.
No.
If you guys want to comment on other changes that have happened in the past 10 years, feel free to leave a video response.
And since then, we've had a child named Ted.
You're not my real dad. You can't tell me what to do.
He grew really fast. It's got like the Jack syndrome with the Robin Williams film.
Man,
I feel when there are children watching this video that are younger than the video that you guys are referencing.
I forgot how...
That terrifies me.
I forgot how fast the early levels in Mario games can go.
Well, I mean, that was basically the inspiration for Sonic, because Naka and others were just plowing through the first levels over and over. So it's like, why don't we build a game without going through the levels fast?
But then Marble Zone
video
happened.
game too fast and Mario too slow.
So yeah, this is coming off my my Super Nintendo Classic. Obviously, I added this on because I can.
The one, was the regular All Stars or was the one with World?
Regular All Stars, because World's already on the.
Isn't the All Stars version of World better than the regular version of World, though? Like, isn't Luigi not just Mario but painted green?
Yeah, he has his own. Luigi has his own sprites, but I think that's really about it.
That's it, and I swear the World version in All Stars is prone to lag more, if only because I think of just how much space the game's taking up in the cartridge.
It might possibly affect it, yeah, if it makes the data more difficult for the system to retrieve. I'm not sure how cartridges affect that kind of thing. That's actually something I've never looked up. I mean...
Either way, I mean, good luck finding it today, because All Stars with World, I think, is like still one of the rarest things you can own for the Super Nintendo.
I have it.
Yeah, well, you probably got lucky.
Along with DKC was the first cartridges I ever owned.
One of the only games up there in terms of rarity is probably Kirby Superstar Ultra.
Yeah.
Wait, Superstar Ultra or Superstar?
Kirby Superstar. You know which one?
Ultra, because you can find you can't trip without finding a copy of Ultra. It's like
Ultra was the DS one, right?
Yes,
the DS release.
Yeah.
Okay. The original Super Nintendo one.
Yeah. Well, that's because that game came out in like '96, so nobody cared at that point.
Do you mean Superstar or Dreamland 3?
No, Dreamland 3 was the earlier one.
No, Dreamland 3 was the later
3 is the
one.
latter
Superstar
one.
came
Was
out
it?
before. Yes, this is
Superstar
why
came out
if you
during-
did a
Superstar
Kirby
came out during the
marathon,
Super-
you would know these things, John. Jeez.
No, there's also it really goes to show how much I don't give a shit.
let me look it up.
Dreamland 3 came out in like 97 or 98. Superstar came out in like 95 or 96.
I could have sworn
96
Dreamland
and
3.
Dreamland
No,
3.
you don't. It didn't.
Dreamland 3 was definitely 97 or 98.
Yeah, because here's the thing, John. You would think that because Dreamland 3 doesn't have as many different abilities and stuff like that as Superstar does, but they did that on purpose because they thought that Superstar was too complicated. So they
What?
Yeah. Well, the Dreamland games were always designed to be more simple, you know, and it's more about finding the animal friends and combining the power you have with the animal friends' abilities. Dreamland 3 is like 64 beta version, pretty much, in many ways, where instead of combining fire and ice, you combine fire and kind, you know.
Fire and other fire to make a giant fireball.
Yeah, that's how it works. Oh, you almost died.
You almost ate it.
Yeah. No, I still die plenty in this game.
I'm pretty sure
You'll be able to tell when I cut past game overs because my score suddenly resets.
I'm pretty sure if you tried combining fire with fire, it would just kill both fires because it eats up all the oxygen faster. That's where the saying "fight fire with fire" comes from.
I mean, Kirby can breathe in space, so whatever.
I
Yeah,
don't
but
know if
fire
Kirby even
can't.
needs to breathe
Yeah.
at all.
Fire can't breathe in space. It needs to ignite oxygen. That's how it works.
Well, Batman's proven that there is oxygen in space, so you know.
Batman is wrong.
So, because Mario no longer raises a white flag with a red star, we can't say that he supports communism anymore. In All Stars, the star is green. So,
Yeah.
what is he representing now?
Greenpeace.
Wait,
Nah, I don't really care.
please tell me that that's a modern har joke and not something people actually thought back in the day.
No, that's
Oh,
something that
it's
people
a
believe
hard
now
joke.
because of game theory.
Oh,
Really? I thought Mario Communist goes as far back as Newgrounds in like the mid 2000s.
Yeah, but my brother will actually try to convince me that Mario's communist because he watches game theory, and I want to smack him every time he tries to.
well, you know, the reason I ask is that because around the time that Mario came out, I think McCarthyism was winding down or had just wound down. Something
It was like
along those lines.
85, so...
No, Mario came out in '85, so McCarthyism died in the early '60s.
Early 60s.
Yeah, but the
Oh,
Berlin
okay.
Wall came down in like the
'89.
89.
Okay, so I was mixing that up
No.
with the Cold War.
And
Okay,
I
good.
think Mario had a helping hand in that. He was literally on top of the wall and jumped repeatedly until it fell over.
Yeah, he was jumping at all the bricks and doing the
Yeah.
one by one.
he was underneath it.
Mario, tear down that wall. Yahoo!
Man, all these figures that helped break the Cold War, Rocky, Mario,
Mario.
you know, true historical
And that's it.
figures.
And that's it. Those are the two sole responsible individuals.
We need a Call of Duty
And
game
maybe the
focusing
robot
on
from
these
Rocky IV.
untold war stories.
Yeah.
I mean, look at these
Take no
monuments to the dead
prisoners.
Goombas from the Mushroom Kingdom Wars back in the 1600s. You know, their lives will never be forgotten, except by the rest of the Mushroom Kingdom because they're not brought up ever again.
Wait,
That's depressing.
weren't those Goombas?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did I say Koopas?
You said Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah.
Well, Goombas, there are Goombas that are, residents of the Mushroom Kingdom. Not all of them are bad.
Yeah,
Well,
some of them are,
uh,
most of them are just assholes, but not all of
Yeah,
them.
most of them are assholes, but not all of them are
Well, that
bad.
would be why they never get brought up, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because they don't make, RPGs anymore with fun characters. So,
What are you talking about? Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey?
Bowser's
just
Inside
came
Story is a DS game from like 10 years ago.
That for some reason has a 3DS remake, even though you can just play the DS game on your 3DS.
It's still a great game, but my point stands. It's like they don't believe in RPGs anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of something that's changed over the last 10 years. No, there's still not a sequel to Thousand Year Door.
Just
Well, I mean, Super Paper Mario technically counts, I guess.
turn-based RPGs are still in this awkward phase where they're sort of coming back, but not really.
Yeah, it's like they don't want to go
Look
full
at- look-
swing because they might they fear fallback.
Yeah. It's like Square always gets super confused anytime like the Bravely games do well or Octopath does well. It's like, yeah, because we want to play these games.
Or like the legitimately decent ones are relegated to devices that nobody really gives a shit about playing RPGs on. Because I hear a lot that Final Fantasy Dimensions or Brave Exvius, I think it's
Exodus
are
or
really
something, yeah.
are really good classic based Final Fantasy games, but they're on mobile phones and and there's still a stigma.
The sprite work in Brave Exodus, or whatever the heck it's called, is really, really
Brave
good.
Exvius, but I think the
It also has a gotcha.
yeah,
system,
that's
which is why
another
people don't
thing.
like it.
It's
Yeah.
got the gotcha system. I mean, it's cool seeing Super Nintendo sprite versions of characters who have no business having Super Nintendo sprites, like Lightning. But
So when I first saw this game and I saw that this was supposed to be snow, it suddenly clicked with me because I had no idea why the heck Mario went back to the 1950s in the 8-bit version of the game. And it's just like, oh, that was supposed to be snow? Wow, people in the 80s had way better imaginations than I do.
I mean,
Yeah,
we could tell the difference between clouds and bushes.
I mean, the trees being white in the 8-bit original was pretty indicative of that, but like the ground itself was also white, so I didn't get snow. I got like frozen tundra.
I didn't get Frozen at all. I got Twilight Zone.
Oh. Steamboat Mario.
Ted, I think you've been holding on to this for too long. I think you really just need to let it go.
Ha.
I had to say it. I'm sorry.
Disney.
In any case.
Yeah, I think unless you want to try to track down a Mario Deluxe copy on your Game Boy, I think this is the kind of the default way to play Mario 1.
Mario Deluxe is so goddamn good, though. If there was
It really
yeah.
is.
If there was a
my only complaint I have with Deluxe is the screen crunch.
even
Yeah.
then, it's not that bad because they made some changes. Like I think by default, Mario's all the way at the left of the screen, so you can see
Yeah.
basically all the jumps. It really only kind of dicks you over when you're looking for all the optional shit in every level, like the.
Or when you're playing Lost Levels.
Ooh,
I'm sorry, Mario Brothers for super players.
I didn't even unlock it because I'm trash at video games. But they need to make a version of this game with all the deluxe stuff added, including all the pointless stuff like the fortune reader and
The two-player mode thing.
the cow.
The
You
Boo
versus
the
Boo
Boo
is like the
racing.
best Mario multiplayer ever. Don't at me.
And I'm thinking back, like, besides All Stars, I probably played Deluxe the most to get my Mario Brothers 1 action.
Yeah.
You know, I still have plenty of sentimental value for the NES original. By the way, nice on your coin count.
Nice.
But
I mean, I grew up with this version, so it's kind of tough for me to go back to the NES version because, I mean, its look is very classic. But you go and look at, I know it comes later, but Mario 3 visually blows it out of the water, so it's a little tough to go back to from a visual standpoint.
You see, I actually kind of disagree. I prefer the aesthetic. Like, I mean, granted, Mario 3 is definitely a graphically more impressive game. But if we're looking at things from just, from my perspective now, like, I think Mario 3 these days kind of just looks like a less bright world because of the NES's limited color palette.
You wouldn't be wrong there. So
Whereas Mario 1 is still one of the most visually identifiable games of all time, and in those classic sprites, and the colors just pop more in 1 than in 3, I kind of feel. So I find it just more visually pleasing to look at, even if it isn't as graphically impressive,
I
It's
can
like
sort of see it, but then
It's
again,
like watching a 5-year-old's finger painting of like a little house with flowers and stuff versus like one of those high impressionist paintings that's
between
just...
Bob Ross doing finger paints and somehow paints an entire fucking mountain using his fingers. I was like,
Well,
wow,
no, he
Bob
does
Ross,
that
you're a dick.
sometimes. He finger paints constantly in the show. He'll be like, we're going to do a little bit of finger painting now.
Then he paints the Sistine Chapel with his pinky. I was like, oh yeah, just a little thing. Anybody can do this.
I mean, anybody can,
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
man.
Mr. Ryan,
I-
why are you so bad at video games? Can't you know you could skip a whole rest of
this
the
is an
world?
all levels run.
Skip a whole rest of the game if you go up into
Sure,
secret
I'm
world.
playing all the levels.
Sure, if you want to make it like really unfun to watch, skip half the game. Sure, why not?
I mean, that is how speedruns of this game are under 5 minutes.
People are crazy for Super Mario Brothers speedruns, though. Like
They have to track it down to frames because it's basically as optimized as it possibly can.
Yeah.
it's
Like,
also one of the
there's-
oldest speedruns in the world. So people have been speedrunning this game since before really the concept of speedrunning even existed. So
Well, mostly because this game doesn't. The NES version didn't have a save system.
yeah. Well, so I mean,
No,
Oh my god, I've been there.
should have seen that coming.
Yeah.
I guess you could have like taken a picture of your final score and waved your edict around like that, but
I mean, that's what Nintendo Power asked you to do.
if you didn't forget to turn your flash off in your camera.
Yeah, and you had no way of. You had to leave it on for like a day to go develop it because you wanted to be sure.
Yeah. Then it ends up being a mess.
God forbid you have a power surge and the game restarts because of that. Or like somebody trips over the wire or something.
Oh, not too much time lost. And Mario Brothers is relatively short. Again, this revisit's only 2 parts long.
Yeah, but you hit every single coin block to make sure that you got the absolute maximum score, and you don't want to have to go
Okay,
through that
I've
all
never
over
done
again.
that before. I don't want to.
Well, that's because you're not dedicated hardcore enough.
Hold on, you're talking about playing in that playstyle, but you never unlocked lost levels for deluxe. That's exactly how you unlock it.
What? I thought you just had to beat the game.
No. You had to get over. I think you had to get over 500,000 points.
Well, you'd have to live
in the best game.
You'd have to survive long enough in order to do that, and I'd always die before I got that many points. So you know how it is.
Thug life. There you go.
Oh yeah, the score resets when you get a game over done.
I didn't choose the thug life. I would die if I did.
Yeah, because I think if we're playing deluxe, I think Ryan just unlocked the threshold for the Boo race.
Yeah, I believe so.
You versus Boo is such a goddamn good mode.
It really is, yeah. I played a lot of that.
I mean, in the vein of these remakes on the All-Star version, I'm kind of curious why they never kind of did an All-Star 2 in a sense with like HD sprites and all that.
Especially, oh my god, I was spoiled last.
Because you can like reuse those for like Mario Maker and shit.
Last year, for the Sonic Amateur Game Expo, which is pretty much a lot of up-and-coming developers show their products that their betas and their alphas of games they really want to work on. One of them was a Mario game, but it looked so fucking good. I don't remember the name of it. I'll have to look in between parts, but it was basically like what an HD Mario game would look like nowadays with high-res sprites and animation. And I was like, fuck, this looks so good. Like, I would love a new Mario game like this.
Well, I remember people were annoyed that didn't happen when they re-released Mario All-Stars for the Wii for the 20th anniversary, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it was just
25th,
like it was.
I want to say.
It was literally just a ROM of Mario All-Stars, but on a Wii disc. And I mean it came with an art book, which was neat.
Yeah.
But that was it.
There was basically no excuse to make it as rare as it was.
Well, it's actually funny because I think it might have cycled around back to being rare, but nobody bought it when it first came out. So come like 2 years later, they were still sitting on Best Buy shelves, and they were like half price and stuff like that, which I find really, really funny. But Google exists. So let's see what eBay prices for Super Mario. Oh yeah, no, they're cheap as hell. You can get them for like $10 on eBay. So nobody cares about that.
Okay.
Version.
Well, you effectively put a couple kilobyte ROM on a DVD disc.
Yeah, I mean, true, but it was intended to be like a super collector's edition.
Yeah, but the problem is they already released all the Mario games on the eShop.
Yeah, but these ones are pretty. They have.
Yeah, but not the 16-bit renditions, what I think is what they were banking on.
Yeah, but at the same time, it didn't. I don't think it came with World.
No, it was just the original.
No, it did not. It was just the original All-Stars.
Yeah, so it kind of defeats the purpose.
I mean, they were never going to release the All-Stars version on the Virtual Console because that would be $8 for 4 games when they can get 20 by making you buy them.
You buy 3.
It's odd because
We need money.
I remember looking for the game shortly after it came out, and I could never find it in my area.
They must have done like a limited print run that they only sent out part of the print run at first to make it look more exclusive, which of course they do. And then they trickled out the rest, and just nobody bought the rest. Is probably what happened.
Probably. I mean,
I got it just for sentimental value.
I got it as a gift, so I didn't have to pay money for it, which was pretty cool. But
I really need to try to find like an actual version in the box for All Stars. Maybe not World, depending on how expensive it is, but
it'd probably
obviously
run you like a good
Yeah, actually,
$300.
Techie, look that up real quick. Like, how much is All Stars plus World going for nowadays?
Oh, okay.
Because obviously my parents got this for me back in like '94, and you didn't keep the box and shit back then.
No, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Oh wow. Okay, so the game itself is actually not all that bad. Like I'm seeing like $30
No,
and
that's not
stuff
bad.
like that. But hold on. What if we did new inbox?
$3 million.
Oh God.
Was that an
Yeah,
oh
new-
god at what John said, or an oh god at the
Yeah,
actual price?
basically. Like new in box, I'm not finding anything quickly, but I don't think it would probably be anything more than like $100,
Oh,
which is not that
Miyamoto
bad
probably
for
owns
new.
the last copy.
It's not all that bad for. Oh.
Dope.
Okay,
So
then.
think about what you've done. God, I remember when because I got my first run with All Stars was back in the mid '90s, probably around the same time Ryan got his copy, and I remember being enamored with like the updated look, the backgrounds especially, because
Yeah.
the NES game had no backgrounds besides clouds.
Did you?
And
did
few
you?
trees.
You mean bushes, John? You mean bushes?
You're right. I'm sorry.
Did you play much of the 8-bit version, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I said it before, but one of the first games I ever beaten was 8-bit Mario 1. I played a bit of USA a long time ago, back when it was, I guess, relatively new. But not Mario 3. Mario 3 I've only seen other people play. It wasn't until All Stars that I played it for myself for the first time. But even then, I still had knowledge of the 8-bit game. So jumping to All Stars was like, oh my god, it's so colorful. The music is great. The percussion is sublime. I want to fuck it right now. Give me a moment, guys. End the part.